Mr. Doran and the family, if you'd like to come on up and have a seat and get ready. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Dobyns-Bennett High School. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Jimmy Burleson. I'm one of the assistant athletic directors here at Dobyns-Bennett. I want to welcome you to our spring signing day. This is a big day for several of our student athletes, and we're excited to celebrate them on this very special occasion. A couple of housekeeping things, just so you kind of know how the format will go today. We have 7 signees. Our coach, head coach will speak. Our signee will sign. We'll take pictures. Olivia, be thinking who you want to take pictures with, because it's totally up to you, okay? If you'd like to speak, signees, be thinking of that too. If you have something you'd like to say, you are encouraged, more than welcome to do so. If not, that's okay too. It's your day. We're not going to force you to do that. Parents, the athletics website will have links for today, our live stream. Mr. Wes Franklin back here is live streaming the event right now. So if you want to go back and watch it later, you have relatives that weren't able to make it today, they can watch on YouTube. You can find all that information on our website. All the graphics you see will also be there. Also, Mr. Hayden Russell is here taking pictures for us today. So his pictures will be available online too, okay? I don't think I have anything else. So Coach Francis, I'm gonna turn it over to you. Olivia Doran.
Thank you guys for coming today, especially all Olivia's teammates. This is a real exciting day for me. Anytime we have a player from our program sign to play at the next level, you know, that's always a goal of a lot of our players. And I know that's been a goal of Olivia for a long time. I've known Olivia probably since I got the head coach job here. She was probably 2nd grade. I've watched her play the game of basketball since then. Came to all our camps and, you know, all the off-season work and everything. And I was thinking today back a little bit on Olivia's career and just kind of who she is. And one of the things that stands out about Olivia always was from day one, that kid hits more game winners or buzzer beaters than anybody I've ever seen. I mean, you're talking at camp, you're talking in practice, you're talking in games, wherever that may be. She's one of those kids that from the time she was probably, you know, 2nd, 3rd grade, she would hit those game winners, those buzzer beaters. And she had one big one there in Jeff County this year that tied the game, and if it wasn't for one of her coaches, she might have had another one. So you guys know what I'm talking about there. The other thing with Olivia is, you know, we talk a lot as coaches in the athletic world about the process and buying into the process and putting your time in and earning your way and waiting your time and being patient and trusting who you're playing for, who your coaches are, trusting the process. And I think sometimes that's probably a little overused, but that was the one thing that really stood out to me about Olivia's career is I think she was truly a kid that trusted the process. Her mom and her granddad trusted the process, she did, and she came in from day one and was Dobyns-Bennett first. You know, I think that, you know, a lot of times you can play for a scholarship, you can play for your school, but I think Olivia really played for her school and because she loves the game. And I think one of the things is, you know, she wasn't a full-time starter till her senior year. And she's got opportunity now to play Division II basketball. And that just shows, I think, when you buy in, when you trust, when you work hard, both on and off the court, that those good things can happen for you. And I think that's what I'm most proud of, is seeing her growth from the time she was a freshman to her senior year to this moment, both as a basketball player, but probably more importantly as a person. You know, she's a great student. She's great in the community. She's coaching a little basketball team now, giving back, doing things like that. Those are important things, and I think King's going to get a really fine one here, and I'm very happy for Coach Phelps. A couple things, just a few notes about Olivia's career. 4-year varsity player. This year, her accolades included Big 5 Co-Player of the Year. She was first team All-Northeast Tennessee this year. She's been a 2-time District 1 AAA All-Tournament team member. She scored 610 points, 282 rebounds, 130 career assists, 140 steals. This one was pretty good, 68% career free throw percentage. And this one in the girls basketball game, this is a pretty good one. 25 career charges taken. That was a big one. That's the most I've had in my 8 years here. And she could always do it at the right times, knew how to do it, and give up her body for her team. the last thing is, not only is she a great athlete, but she's a great student with a 3.34 average. I think King's getting a fine one here. I've talked to Coach Phelps at length about her. I think that she's going to fit very well in their system, and I'm very excited for her. They're getting a great player, but more importantly, they're getting a great kid.
All right, let's give her one more round of applause here. All right, all family, if you are family, come on up and we'll take a picture, okay? All family. Round, come on back here. Team, all teammates. Rest of the team. Potts gang. Where they at? There they are. All coaches. 4x8 team. You've been summoned. All right, let's give her one more round of applause. Congratulations, Olivia Doran. All right, so we're going to take just a couple of minutes to switch out for Mr. Hayden Sherer, who is up next. Okay, we will start back as soon as we have everything set up.
We're all on the same boat.
All right, we're back with Hayden Sherer here, signing with Carson Newman to play football. I'm going to let Coach Christian say a few words about Hayden.
Keep your paws down. Hayden's one of those kids that, he's been a special part of our program for the last 4 years. It's so hard for young people to earn their peers' respect athletically. It's so hard. They can earn their respect by doing things, outside of school, outside the competitive fields. And that's unfortunate that earns them respect. But, it's so hard for them. It's hard for kids to, it's hard for kids to say, well, that kid's better than me. He should be playing. That kid's, he should be playing over me. You're right, Coach. I'm not as good as him. That's not something that happens a whole lot. Today's world, parents would rather the team never win and their kid ever play. They'd be happy with that instead of, if it was vice versa or something. Instead of winning every game and their kid having to compete, I don't want that. But I go back to all the time. The class before Hayden, those were some personalities right there. They some large personalities, but they understood that Hayden's sophomore year, how he was able to earn their respect through the way that he approached the team, the way that he approached his craft, and everything like that. And to really earn those guys respect and the way that he was treated by them. And that group ahead of them, they didn't let many people into their little, in their little tight-knit culture or group either. So I always come back to, I say it all the time, we're in the stadium down here Friday night, and Hayden catches the ball. I've never heard this before, nor since probably, and our sideline started chanting, "He's a sophomore. He's a sophomore." And I was like, what are they doing? And so, but that was a sense of pride. It was a sense of pride for his classmates. It was a sense of pride for the rest of the team that, here's a 10th grader who has earned his time and his chance to play, and he was making the most of it. He made plays all over the field in his 3 years of varsity football. This year, he played more snaps than anybody that we had. And probably for the last 4 years, he played more snaps this year than anybody has. What Carson Newman's getting, Hayden is a great football player. He really is. He's a great football player, but he's a better young man. And if and when you're running a small Christian-based university like Carson Newman, where they value where they have a need for those values and want those values, they're getting a rock star. And he's going to be an integral part of their team for the next 4+ years. Hayden finished his career with us with 4 carries for 15 yards, 70 catches for 1,179 yards, 7 touchdowns, 12 blocks to touchdowns, 12 knockdown blocks, 30 big catches, 1 big return, 83 tackles, 2 hurries, 2 sacks, 3 pass breaks up, 3 caused fumbles, and a fumble recovery, and 1 interception. Carson Newman today is signing a good one. Hayden Sherer.
Pictures. Who you want? More family? More family. All family. Come on up. like that? Friends. Friends, all friends. Come on up. Church group. Yeah, just the adults.
Levi.
Coach Christian. All right, congratulations, Hayden Sherer, signing with Carson Newman. Our next signee is Jack Browder. Jack is heading to Carson Newman as well, so this will be a quick change of material here. All right, so next up we got Jack Browder signing with Carson Newman to play basketball. We'll let Coach Poore say a few words.
We'd like to first of all thank everyone for coming out in support of Jack. These days are very special. It's very memorable for especially the families of the athletes. It's something they work endlessly for throughout their career. It's something that little kids dream of their entire lives. And for Jack, we've been able to celebrate as a team for several weeks. And we've been having a lot of fun taking in all the award ceremonies and such. But this is a little different. This is a personal accomplishment, something that I am very excited for him because it's something that he has absolutely worked for. And coming into our program, Jack has immediately put in the time, put in the work, and has been a leader for us from the beginning in that. Even as a freshman and a sophomore underclassman, he put in as much time or more than any other player in our program, and that has not changed one bit. Once he got a starting position, he didn't slow down. Once he got to be our leader, and this past year as a senior, that didn't stop. So his drive, his work ethic is a little bit different than most, and it's so great to see all those things come to fruition. So really proud of him and his accomplishment to play college basketball. I know his family's very proud, and one of the things that I like most about Jack is when you don't just get Jack, Carson Newman gets a whole family. Because they're sort of like my family. When you get one, when you sign up for the whole thing. And that's a credit to them. They're great people, and I know they'll support him endlessly. Carson Newman has got him a fine, fine player. And I know everyone here knows that. I know he has been celebrated. He's going to go down as one of the most storied players in our history. And I'll read down just a short list of here. But before I do, I'll talk about a little bit about coaching Jack. Because although he is a phenomenal player, he's not always easy to coach. And it's not going to be a roast session, but I will say one of my favorite things about Jack is he doesn't take everything you say and believe it immediately. And as a coach, you want to tell your player something, then just grasp it and run with it and not question it. Jack analyzes everything. So if you tell him something, he's going to analyze it, break it down. It's got to make sense for him, or he doesn't internalize it. And that is shown through a lot of different things, but you can tell that he has a passion. Every single game we played, the next day, I would get a text. Hey, coach, at 12 minutes and 13 seconds, they gave me a block, and it wasn't me, it was this guy. Or I missed a shot, and every single game he went back and rewatched, he revisited. He's always trying to get better. So I think that's what makes him the player that he is. To read through some of his stats, Jack's going to go down as one of the 1,000-point scorers. He finished with 1,196 career points. That ranks him 12th all-time in Dobyns-Bennett's history. 766 rebounds. He was on the first team all-conference 2 times. He was a 2-time all-district player, a District 1 Player of the Year, an all-region player, a Region 1 MVP, first team all-Northeast Tennessee team, BCAT All-Star, state tournament MVP, 4A state champion, and the newest accolade, he is now the 14th all-state player in DB basketball history and the first since 1995. Carson Newman, you're getting a great player and a great family. Jack Browder.
Family, all family.
All family.
That's very good.
Friends. All friends, if you could come up and join Jack. Basketball team. State champion basketball team. Coaches. State champion coaches. Baseball team. They roll deep.
Move on down, kind of spread out a bit, a bunch of. Keep going, keep going, guys, keep going.
So fun. So.
Baseball coaches. All right, Jack Browder, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. All right, so again, we're going to take just a couple seconds to set up here. We got Sam Ritz coming up next, signing with Roane State to play baseball. We'll be back in just a second.
That's gonna take 30 minutes. You may stay. I know, go to just stay till Malachi's.
have a seat. You're more than welcome to hang out with us. We've got Sam Ritz coming up next. We need to make sure we keep these back doors here clear so people can come in and out. All right, so Sam is going to be signing with Roane State to play baseball next year. I'm going to let Coach Wagner talk about him for just a few minutes.
Okay, guys, most of you know Sam. Sam's obviously an emotional leader on our team. So, you know Sam, he's an emotional guy. He's been great for us for, well, 4 years, but obviously we lost 2020 season, most of it. So, but he's a 3-year starter and obviously comes from great stock. Granddad over here, I'll say this, both sets of grandparents are great people, very supportive. Coach Ritz, legendary coach, 900 plus wins. Coach Meade, Coach Burton, Coach Earls coached with him. And he was a wonderful coach here for 26 years. And then his son, Brian, which is Sam's dad, was my teammate. And we graduated in 1994. So, you know, you're kind of seeing a pattern, legacy there of Coach Ritz and then Brian and then Sam. And then it's nice for him also to get to play with his younger brother, Will. So, good baseball family. Also, other set of grandparents are great people too, Bill and Kathy, and obviously Sharon, Coach Ritz's wife, been through. They probably, Coach Ritz's wife has probably suffered not getting to see her husband and son a lot over the last 30 years just because of all the games being played. Sam be attending Roane State Community College, plays in the same conference as the #1 team in the country, Walter State. So their program is on the up. They got a very energetic coach in now that's building new facilities, got a lot of energy to the program. So we're looking forward to Sam going there. And then from there, maybe on to bigger and better things in a 4-year school, hopefully. So Sam was second team all of Big 7 last year in 2021. He did make the Super 22 team out of the John C. Press, which is a really big award. And I'm sure there's more to come this year. That's the tough thing about the spring. Right now, unless you sign later in the summer, you don't get to see all those things because they've not come out yet. So, but his junior year, he batted .355. He had 7 doubles, 3 triples, 6 home runs. Currently, right now, Sam is batting .356 with 9 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs. He also had a 22-game hitting streak. 1 game off the record, which is held by his father, Brian. So that was snapped a couple weeks ago. So that's a pretty neat story. And I'll just say, this is a tough time of year to play. And coach, to be honest, just because there's so many distractions with graduation, testing, proms, everything. So our guys have held it together. We start our district here Saturday, and we'd like all the support we can get. We play here against Daniel Boone at noon, and I'm sure these guys would like to have everybody out. And Sam Ritz.
All family?
All family. Teammates. All teammates. Friends, all friends.
Marty can get this. Marty can get this one. Hey, it's a little late. Marty's going to make the party. Probably should go first.
Coaches, come on down. Thank you, teammates and friends.
I'll be real short. One other thing I failed to mention, something special about Sam. Obviously, he wanted to grow up playing at Dobyns-Bennett, but all those guys make it special, just like Jack, playing with those guys all his life and then getting to play with them in high school. I think that's special, just to see them all together.
All right, so we're going to take another just a real quick break here. We've got RJ Brumitt coming up next, signing with Milligan to swim. So just a real quick break here just to switch out our decorations. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have RJ Brumitt signing with Milligan University to swim. I'm going to turn this over to Coach Love, who will say a few words about RJ. Coach Love?
All right, just got a few words. He's awesome. He's a jack of all trades and master of none. That is his motto. He is, I mean, by far, I've had him, I don't know, 7 years total, through middle school all the way up through high school. We're not T-AA, so we're allowed to train with them as middle school coaches as well. So RJ, I mean, I'm telling you, once he got in the water, you knew he was just an instant fish. He took to it, really, really enjoyed it, and he qualified for state every year. And I'm going to tell you, this year he even placed in his, got on the podium for his 2 individual races. He broke records, a whole bunch of records we'll talk about here in just a minute. In the water, he's awesome, but I'm going to tell you he's even better out of the water playing the saxophone. He's one of the top saxophone players in the state of Tennessee. I have heard the national anthem played countless times by him, and I'm going to tell you, it's never gotten old. He jazzes it up, and it just is beautiful. If you ever get a chance, and you know that he's getting ready to play national anthem, go out there and just go with him and listen, because it's pretty awesome. Not only that, but as a coaches association, we actually have an academic All-American that he has, and he is an academic All-American. His grade point average is above a 4.0, and so he's awesome out of the water as well. He's a Blair Blankenship Award winner, and it's dedication and leadership in swimming. He earned a scholarship for swimming to go to Milligan through the program. And the records he owns, he's on a relay record, 200 medley relay. They placed 7th in the state, which is the highest they've placed in a long time. Got on the podium for that. He individually owns the 200 IM record, and he owns it in the yards and the meters, because we do short course meters and short course yards. And he owns the 50 free records in short course meters and yards as well. And in state, he swam the 50 free. He placed 9th in state in the 50 free. And then he swam the 100 fly as well. He placed 8th at state in that. And he owns the records in the 100 fly in short course meters and yards as well. So he owns a bunch of records here. He did break the 100 breaststroke record, but he had a teammate take that from him near the end. But we were glad to have that, because that just helped him, promote everybody out there. So he's a great teammate, great leader. He does fantastic things in the water as well as out. I know that Milligan's getting a great athlete. Again, he can swim pretty much anything. Like I said, he's just totally awesome in that realm. So congratulations to RJ.
Teammates.
Y'all come down this way just a little bit. About in the center. There you go. All right, that's kind of a little bit. If you're on the far end, you might have to stick in just a little bit. You see all of it? Good.
Just the boys. Seniors. Boys and girls, yeah, seniors. All seniors. Senior teammates, I guess I should say. Coach Love. RJ Brumitt. Let's give him one more round of applause. Congratulations. All right, next up we have another Milligan University signee, Mr. Gavin Morelock. So we'll have a quick switch here and then we'll be ready to go. All right, so next up we have Gavin Morelock signing with Milligan University to play tennis next year. I'm going to turn the mic over first to Miss Kaylin Tony, one of our assistant tennis coaches.
Thank you. I wanted to go first because I had the privilege of meeting Gavin first. He was one of my first students that I ever had at my very first job at Sevier Middle School. He was one of my students in my 8th grade algebra class, and one of the things that I remember from Gavin was his love of baseball and how he just baseball. Well, a few years later, he comes out for tennis, and I was like, something's not right here. What's happened? What's going on? I found out the story of why he was out for tennis, and when I found out the story and knew what had happened, I just knew we were about to have something really, really, really special. I was very excited. Strongest work ethic, hardest worker, very, very great at listening, does whatever we say. Just any coach's dream to have as a player. So I knew it was going to be something special. He got most improved for us last year, his very first year playing tennis, and now he's signing for college tennis. So if that's not motivational and an inspiration that you can do literally anything, then I don't know what is. So I'm very, very proud of Gavin. I'm going to hand this over to Coach Tony now, and he's going to say a few words as well.
She dreaded this part, handing it over to me. Okay, she took some words away from me, but also the same story when I talked with Coach Ryan. He said, well, you got to keep her. I actually took a few comments here from when I said, I asked this to parents, I asked this to some teammates, I asked it to some coaches. I said, I'm going to say Gavin Morelock, and you say what comes to your mind. And here was what a number of teammates said about you, sir. no quitter, determination, team leader, sunscreen. Hit that one big time, didn't we? And one of the coaches said, storied, and I've already heard, I think Coach Poore maybe used that word earlier. It's become a real, I don't know, sidebar for a lot of good stories, but a storied player in the conference, a storied player at some school, but his story, as Coach K said, came from the baseball switch. Gavin, I can associate with you so much in that. Freshman year, he had a tough time, you know, with the physical part. I got my dream knocked out my freshman year in football. I turned to baseball and tennis. But for a while, I know Gavin wondered, what am I going to do next? Because of my wife and his daddy-o, they knew each other, and I'm not for sure how we connected up, but I made a call to Brent Morelock, and I said, do you think that young man of yours would try tennis? And I think he had even tried, maybe he'd gone out, I can't remember if he'd hit any balls or not. But I want to back up what Coach K said, and I bet you every coach sitting in here will agree. They'd love to have some athletes that had not played long enough to screw up their own game. You know, played long enough to not have the right grips, to not have the right step in and hit, and the curveball not working, right, Jeremiah? Unless he's gone. A coach loves to get an athlete that has not done a whole lot to their own sport, and Gavin's one of them. It was so good. I remember pitching the first balls to him and hitting a few balls to him, and I went, whoa, there's something there to work with. So I can't stand up here and read all the stats because the young man has only developed after a couple of years. That's a story within itself. In a couple of years, I'd love to have him 4 full years. We had a COVID year, right? Yeah, we had the COVID year too, so we still only had him 2 years, but I just can't imagine what he could have done 4 full years with his training away from here and then in season, what could have happened. The baseball coach that I talked to said, I said, Gavin Morelock, he said, keeper. He said, athlete. A parent said, from baseball to tennis, wow. And 2 or 3 others said, wow. And if you've seen him play, he doesn't have that quit in him. So I also added that to it. Awards, he piled them up, man. You wore out a rut the other night at the awards. He had, not a bad rut, but he wore out a path coming and going on 4 or 5 different awards. I didn't write those down, there were so many. But 4.0, over a 4.0, 4 point, what? I don't want to hear it. It's hard for me to say. I can associate it with the 3, like 2.3 or something, but had a 4.3, pretty darn good. So that was a special evening. I was glad to present that night too. That was some good stuff. Brent and Lisa, Gavin, you better hug them. I told you many times when you left, you go home and hug them. And I'll find out whether you do or not. Now don't look over at Dad, you can hug him too. Those 2 huggable people and deserve every bit of the hugs you can give. If you don't, I'll start coming and doing it. Even you, Brent. Because he came out of good stuff. I think y'all can tell that. And there's one other special guy in his life, and it's become part of my life. Is Grandpa Kenneth still here? His grandpa, did he? Hey, Daddy-o. I'm going to vote for him the best. He hung in there. We've got a... Would you grab those balls for me? 2 of them. We've got a special thing for Grandpa. You know, we are presenting you for this scholarship. Grandpa's got a special place here too. Give Grandpa a ball there signed by his grandson. I don't think he missed a match. Thank you. All coaches love this kind of support. Which coach said the family was so important? Poor or one of the basketball coaches thought how important the family was. I don't know if I agree with all the families that are important, but this one sure is important. So we present you a darn good gimme here for Coach Grauman. A good friend of mine, I got to tell a quick story, and I'm going to turn it over to Coach Taylor Grauman, the new coach at Milligan. He comes up to see me one afternoon out here. We were practicing. He first sent me an email. He and I had confronted each other many times playing against him when I was at that other school up towards Bristol. This one and my players would end up playing in the finals. And here's this little short kid that's just knocking the fire out of the ball. And I said, I want him on our staff here. Before I could nab him, he's the new head coach at Milligan. And you've got a good one here, Gavin. I can keep real close tabs on you. All right? Oh, good, and I'm glad you said this because this is the first time it's been announced. Gavin also is a first team, start to say All-American, but not yet. All conference as of today at noon. There's a couple others that we've got that are all conference, but I'll announce that one now. So you better be nice, it'll take you off before it hits the newspaper. Let me turn this over just a second to Coach Grauman.
Gavin, I didn't come here planning to say anything, but here I am. We're excited to have you at Milligan, where we believe you embody our motto of servant leadership. And Brent and Lisa, I know you guys are very proud, and I'm super excited to see what Gavin can do for the Buffs. To Gavin, thank you.
Present to you a new Buffalo, but you've got a few days left that you're still
16.
How many?
16.
16. How many hours? Come on, math major. Well, let me throw this in. Unless he changes what he wants, I think in life, other than a good one, is I think he wants to be a math teacher and a tennis coach. So I challenge you. If you'll do that and come back here, that'll be about when you're ready to take over. And I'll be 78, and I'll fight you for the head job. Because I'm going to make it till 80. All right.
Gavin Morelock.
Gavin Morelock. Did you sign that bill?
Gavin, who else would you like to come up?
Family.
All family.
Let's go,
All
Papa.
family. Teammates. All teammates.
Thank you, guys.
Sorry.
Gavin, notice the support you've got here from your teammates. Everybody out there noticed that. Pretty cool stuff. I knew it was going to happen.
We're gonna have to.
Coaches.
Sun's brutal. Well, good. We'll see. All right, we're going to take just a couple minutes here. We have one more signee today. Last but certainly not least, Mr. Malachi Hale is signing with Walter State. So give us just a second to switch out the decorations here, and then we'll get going again. Also, just a reminder, all the graphics that are up here, pictures that have been taken, those will be on the athletics website hopefully by Friday. I'm trying to get them up there tomorrow, but if not, they'll be Friday. Thank you. All right, so we have Malachi Hale signing with Walter State to play basketball. I'm going to turn it over to Coach Poore to say a few words.
First of all, thank you guys for coming out in support of Malachi and his family. Like I said earlier, these days are special. They're special for the athlete, they're special for the parents, they're special for our program, and they're not something that we take for granted. We know how much hard work goes into becoming a college player and how much dedication it takes from an entire family, not just the athlete themselves. But one thing about Malachi is ever since he's come into our program, he has raised a standard of work ethic. When it came time for him to put in time to work, he came and delivered. I remember every single year we go through our preseason conditioning, and those are not the most fun days, but Malachi always finished first. He pushed himself to the point of discomfort. He would get outside his comfort zone in the weight room. He did a lot of things to put himself in the position he's in, and I'm not sure there's been a tougher time for high school kids to get the chance to play in college. Being as the situation that we're in with recruiting, with all the backup from COVID, it is extremely, extremely difficult to pursue your college dream. So for him to have the opportunity to go to Walter State is certainly going to be a fun experience to watch, and he'll have multiple landing spots. He, again, comes from a great family, a huge family, one that seemed to grow by the day and change regularly. But I think that's a tribute to their personality, their love for one another, and I think that echoes through Malachi's personality as well. So Walter State, I know you're getting a great player, a great person as well. I'll read off a few accolades here from Malachi as he racked up quite a few of those. Malachi finished with 1,211 career points, which ranks him 10th all-time at Dobyns-Bennett, 733 rebounds, 270 assists. He was an all-district player, a District 1 MVP, an all-region player, a Region 1 MVP, first team All-Northeast Tennessee, a BCAT All-Star, part of the All-State Tournament team, 4A state champion, and might go down as having the biggest shot in Dobyns-Bennett history when he made the game winner over the 6'9" kid from Bartlett to put us in the state championship game. I know his dad might disagree because he was a good player at Dobyns-Bennett as well, but I would say Malachi probably topped his ability and his accolades, and I think the future will reign true to my statement. So I'm excited for Walter State, Coach Diabra. I'm excited for Coach Carlisle. They spent a lot of hours recruiting this guy, and I know they'll treat him well. I know they'll get him to his ultimate destination, and I'm excited, very excited for the family to see where this takes them. So congratulations, Malachi, Walter State. Done this before. Family, pictures.
Why are we here?
You want next?
All right, let's get team, players. Coaches.
Please and thank you.
Who you want next, Malachi? All family? All family.
Hey, bring that mean boy up there. I'm gonna get him when we get home. All right, look at the camera. Look at the camera, y'all. Don't worry about it.
Who else? Anybody? You want anybody else?
Everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody, go back.
Teammates, coaches, family, come on. Everybody.
Hey, after this, just Coach Malachi has to walk.
Okay. Coach Scales just barely made it over that basketball right there. We about had to move it, but you made it.
Okay. So you made it. He made it.
You're good. Yeah, he made it. All right, just Walter State.
Hey, Jack and Malachi too together.
Perfect. Just Jack and Malachi.
Douglas Tigers.
Good. Anybody else? You want to say anything? Malachi Hale. All right, so again, thank you to everyone that came out. Our media folks that came out today too, appreciate you guys very much. Wes Franklin with the live stream. Again, all that stuff will be on our website, the athletic website. If you want to go back and watch, or you had relatives that weren't able to make it today, the live stream will be on our YouTube athletic channel. And then any pictures that we got today, I'll try to get those uploaded within the next day or so. Thank you all so much, and congratulations.